Welcome to Phase 5. Now, we will be putting more components together for full body engagement needed for many sports such as hand cycling, seated volleyball, wheelchair basketball, and triathlons. As we get into more complex movements, it will be important to remember the basic strength and form components of phases 1 through 4. For athletes who primarily use their arms for sport, it will be important in all sports to use proper shoulder control and engage your core as much as possible to reduce forces on your shoulders and reduce injury. If you have not completed phases 1 through 4, please perform those phases first before beginning phase 5. Our goal in these videos is to provide education and resources to help in strength training and injury prevention. It is important to diversify sports, activity, and play throughout the year. A good rule of thumb is not to train a specific sport for more hours per week than the age of the child. It is also important to not train for a specific sport for more than 8 months out of a year. These exercises should be performed 1 to 2 times a week. Other days should be used for active play and a variety of sport and activity. For a more advanced dynamic warm-up for your upper body, you will either be in the seated position or in the half-kneeling position. Make sure to keep your core engaged and keep a tall posture. We will be demonstrating the 2 exercises with a resistance band of your choice. Choose a good resistance and one that you can perform for 5 minutes with moderate fatigue. You can perform these without resistance and with just body weight. To do this, clasp your hands together instead of a band. Start with your clasped hands or resistance band to your top left so that you're slightly rotated to your left with your trunk. With controlled motion, quickly with a chopping motion, move to your bottom right so that you're targeting your right front pocket. Then slowly return to your starting position. Make sure you keep a tall posture and stable shoulders. The lower half of your body should not move at all. Pause and perform this for 30 seconds, then switch sides. You will start next to your top right and end at your left front pocket. Start with your clasped hands or resistance band to your bottom left, near your left front pocket. With controlled motion, quickly pull towards your top right so that you slightly rotate your trunk to the right. Pretend you are pulling a lawnmower cord like the dance move. Slowly return to the starting position. Make sure you keep a tall posture and stable shoulders. The lower half of your body should not move at all. Now pause and perform this for 30 seconds, then switch sides. You will next start to your bottom right, then end to your top left. A mummy sit-up is a great way to work your core muscles. Remember, your core is not just your stomach muscles, but goes all the way around the center of your body, including your back and sides. It is what allows us to sit up tall and be strong in all of our sport movements. Start laying down with a ball in your hands. Take a big breath and then a big breath out. While you are breathing out or exhaling, lift your back off the ground by raising the ball towards the ceiling. You should look like a mummy coming alive. Take a breath while holding the ball above your head. When you exhale, try to slowly lower your back to the ground, keeping your back as straight as possible. Do 10 in a row, focusing on the breathing. When you exhale air, you are automatically using all of your core muscles, which is what we want. Don't let your head lead the movement or lag behind. We want your core doing as much of the work as possible. Once you are able to lift the ball with a straight back off the ground, try alternating punches throughout the movement. This may be difficult at first. Focus on exhaling as you go up and down so you use your core to lift and lower you. If these movements are too hard, then try starting with your back elevated on cushions or against furniture. Most sports, including hand cycling, seated volleyball, and wheelchair basketball, require you to coordinate lots of body parts. So adding punches or a friend throwing a ball at the top of your mummy up is a great coordination and agility practice. You can perform any variation for a set number, say 10 to 20 times, or see if you can keep good form and keep going for a minute or 2 minutes. Exercise will work on strengthening your upper body, including your chest, shoulders, and arms. This will make you stronger in any chair or seated sport. We will be working through 3 stages which increase in difficulty and intensity. You can do these exercises in the seated position or in a tall kneeling position. Progress to the next stage by performing 10 push-ups with the appropriate form. Start by sitting or tall kneeling in front of a wall or at the kitchen counter. To get in the starting position, relax your chest and shoulders, gently tuck your chin into your chest, and sit up tall. With the surface in front of you, straighten your arms out so that your hands are just under your shoulders, like you are doing the ball on the wall exercise with both arms at the same time. Place your hands out wider than shoulder width. Next, have your chest go towards the surface slowly with good control, and while sitting up tall with a stable back. You do not have to touch the surface with your chest, but go as close to it as you can without pain. Pause and perform this 10 times. For the next progression, sit or tall kneel in front of a coffee table, chair, or any stable surface that is at shoulder height. Your starting position and form will be the same as the first stage, except that the surface should be at about your shoulder level. This places you at an incline and increases the difficulty of the exercise. Pause and perform this 10 times. For the last progression, you will be on the floor in a modified push-up position. To get in the starting position, you will be in a modified quadruped position with your knees bent and arms outstretched in front of you. Remember to make sure you place the palms of your hands under your shoulders but wider than shoulder width. Keep your back flat and stable like you are balancing a tissue box on it, like the stable as a table exercise. Pause and perform this 10 times. Cardio is defined as any exercise or physical activity that raises your heart rate. A few ways to know that you are working at an appropriate intensity, or what we will call moderate intensity, is if you are just at a level of slight discomfort, are working up a sweat, and you are able to have a conversation but not able to sing along to your favorite song. You can perform cardio by swimming, hand cycling, jogging, or running outside, playing your favorite sport with your friends, or going crazy on the playground. You can still have fun and do cardio. Make sure you are staying hydrated by balancing your fluid levels. You can do this by drinking more water than you are sweating. Other cardio options are doing arm charades or playing sitting volleyball with a friend for 10 minutes. Strength and endurance are needed of all sports. These are some guidelines to give the mindset of what kind of endurance is needed for sport participation. Now that you have a little introduction on what cardio work and endurance looks like, let's give it a try. Rowing is a great way to exercise and strengthen your rotator cuff muscles, the muscles around your shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, and core. It will help you to become faster and stronger in sports that require a lot of upper body strength like hand cycling, tennis, swimming, basketball, and volleyball. First, we're going to show you how to do this exercise and then how to make it into a cardio workout. For this exercise, you can use a jump rope or sheet, progressing towards using a resistance band that is most appropriate for your strength. You will need to tie it around a sturdy object that won't move or break when you pull on it, and create 2 handles. It should be tied roughly at the same height as your chest when you sit down, with both ends no longer than the length of your arms. These will be your rowing oars to paddle your boat. You can either sit and crisscross on the floor, in long sitting with your feet out in front of you, or in a chair, whichever is safest for you. Grab your oars in each hand. Proper form during this exercise means sitting up tall the entire time. Keep your elbows close to your sides, not out like chicken wings. Your chest should always move forward before your arms when you pull into your body, and then your arms should lead when you push away from your body, like this. We want to make sure your core muscles are engaged with your shoulders and not just using your whole arm to prevent any shoulder injuries. Try rowing 10 times, with pulling into your body and reaching out being one complete row. Once you have the hang of it and have taken a break if you need, ensuring there is no pain in your arms or shoulders, make it an endurance workout to build up your cardiovascular strength to have a healthy heart and lungs. Try to row for at least 5 minutes without stopping. Remember to hydrate before if you need. For this activity, you will need a wall and a ball to throw against the wall. For beginners, we suggest a soccer ball or a volleyball. Set up in sitting, single leg kneeling, or double leg tall kneeling positions, whichever is most challenging for you. You can also alternate as needed. You should feel this in your shoulder blades that are stabilizing the throws, in your arms, and in your core as you maintain a tall posture. For 30 seconds, perform overhead passes, making sure to control your arms in a tall posture and shoulder muscles. You can do these double-handed or single-handed. Now pause and try this out. Next, try 30 seconds of chest passes. Staying as tall as you can is super important for overall body control. As an extra reminder and challenge, you can put a book on your head to make sure you're staying upright and balanced. Pause and try this one out. For the next 30 seconds, turn your body so that one side is facing the wall. We are now going to perform twist throws. If you start with your right side to the wall, the ball will be in both hands on your left side. You will then lead with your chest and core to twist and throw the ball at the wall. For this one, you may feel it more in your sides, called our oblique muscles. These are very important in sport as we have to turn, dive, and rotate. After 30 seconds, rotate and repeat on the other side. Pause and try these out. This drill has an infinite amount of possibilities to get you ready for whatever sport you are interested in. Even sports without balls require core and arm strengthening. Stay up nice and tall as much as possible. For added difficulty, try using a smaller ball for increased hand-eye coordination or a weighted ball for more increased strengthening. Challenge a friend to see who can get the most of a certain throw in a minute. Or instead of against the wall, try passing with a friend. See how many passes you and a friend can make before dropping the ball. Can you twist and throw to each other sideways? Can you throw overhead? Can you throw two balls at the same time? The more variable you make it, the more ready you will be for all the dynamic movements of a sport. You have now finished our 5 phases of training for the pediatric adaptive athlete who relies primarily on their arms to propel a wheelchair or who may have limited use of their lower extremities. Remember that you can go back and continue to train using any combination of exercises and games from weeks 1 to 5. Keep in mind that this training program focuses on building a good foundation for muscular strength and endurance for your respective sport. If you are looking for more advanced exercises, please seek out a physical therapist in your area. It can take up to 6 weeks for your body to build up strength, so be patient. Practice good form, and more importantly, have fun with it. Thanks for hanging out with us and for all of your time and effort. You are awesome.